let me tell you this. Howie Roseman is a weapon. And the Eagles are getting ready to use him. Dallas still stinks. You might do it. Keep Dingbat here. I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. And once again, we are going to talk about the Eagles and all the possibilities, because with this team, anything is possible. This isn't a team that's scared to take risks or spend money or take chances. Nah, this team does everything they need to do to win, and that's what's so good about their GM. That is what is so good about the owner. Howie Roseman is a weapon, and there's no getting around it. Now, before we get into it, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you for all the support you give to me. It truly, truly means a lot. And happy Memorial Day to each and every one of you guys. God bless all the fallen soldiers, all those who have given their lives to this country. We thank you, and we are indebted to you guys, and we remember you guys on this day. And to those who are still serving or have served, thank you so much for your service. Thank you, your family. We love the military on this channel, no doubt about it. You guys are held in the highest reverence around here, okay? That's for sure. Now, this is going to be maybe just a little bit of a Philly 500 rant, a little bit of me just wanting to talk about what's been on my mind the last 24 hours, right? Besides the fact that my daughter turns 16 tomorrow, and I'm not feeling too good about that, okay? I kind of don't like it, but happy birthday to her tomorrow. I don't like that she's getting so old so quick. I'm going to have to go out and get a giant bat to put at the front door, keep all the boys away. You know what I'm saying? Got to do what you got to do. But we've talked a lot about Deandre Hopkins, and we talked a lot about, Budda Baker, Isaiah Simmons, Patrick Queen, and we're all waiting for the Eagles to go out and probably make another move. And we think that they are. I think most people think the Eagles are very capable of it. And we all really agree that the Eagles should try to continue to get better. If you have the opportunity to get better, I think you can do it. In my opinion, you can never have enough talent, okay? But just as we say you shouldn't waste players' talents, you shouldn't, not know how to use a player properly and all those kind of things, I think the same thing is true for your GM. Howie Roseman is a weapon. He is a weapon for the Philadelphia Eagles. And in the offseason, while people are vacationing and thinking about how good they did in the draft and how good they look, Howie Roseman makes moves. He's 3-4 steps ahead of every GM out there. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. I mean, you have reports of GMs and people upset at Howie Roseman because how well he did in the draft. And they don't like the fact that he's always being talked about. Well, the reason he's always being talked about is because Howie Roseman is not scared to make moves. From Carson Wentz, when the Eagles traded multiple times to go up and get him, to the move that they made for Jalen Hurts. And the same thing can be said for the owner. The owner is not scared to give Howie Roseman the room to go out and do things. We give a lot of credit to Howie Roseman, but we also have to give a lot of credit to the owner, Jeffrey Lurie, because he allows it. Okay, and he knew, even when Howie was at his low and people like me were frustrated with Howie, he knew what he had there and he stuck with it. But in my opinion, if the Eagles were to just, let's say, sit on their roster from this point to the start of training camp, I think you're wasting Howie Roseman. I think you're not using Howie Roseman properly. You just never can have enough weapons. I thought Seth Joyner put a perfect post out on Twitter that I totally agreed with. This is what he said. He said, you can never have too many weapons. 100% agree. Gives your offensive coordinator and quarterback more options, makes your offense more explosive, and makes defensive coordinators more cautious. This player is not just a whatever JIC wide receiver. I don't even know what that means. But he's a difference maker. I'm not sure they need him, but why not if Howie can pay him the cash, is what he goes on to say. And that's the truth. I think, I don't know what JIC means. Is it just incapable? Just in case wide receiver, I think it was me. This player's not just a just in case wide receiver. Gotcha. I'm a little slow, okay? I'm a little slow. What are you going to do? I need a drink. Just in case wide receivers, we say. I'm so bad with internet stuff. Pinky up when you drink, by the way. God, I feel so stupid. I should just, stop it and then restart it. But I don't do that. I am what I am. You know what I'm saying? But I do agree with Seth Joyner here. Okay? You never can have enough weapons. You can never be good enough. And for those that say, well, if you go out and get DeAndre Hopkins, you have too many mouths to feed. How are you going to use all these guys? Somebody's going to be upset. That's the coach's job. That's the coach's job, to find a way to utilize these guys and put them in the proper positions to be successful. I think that if you were to go out and get a DeAndre Hopkins, of course you're gonna have discussions with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. People, everybody's got to be on board with it. But you establish the roles and you go out and do it. When you have a guy like Howie Roseman, you have to use him to the best of your ability. It would be a crying shame for the Eagles to sit there on the team they have, which, let me tell you, I think the team that they have right now, regardless if you add any other players on this team minus injury, I think this is the best team in the NFC. I think they go back to the Super Bowl. My prediction is you're going to have an Eagles-Chiefs rematch. That's what I think is going to happen right now. But just because you're good enough, just because you're talented enough, doesn't mean you don't try to get better. You've got to try to get better. And if you have a chance to get a DeAndre Hopkins, to me, it would be malpractice for Howie Roseman not even to look into it, not even to try. Or if you have Kevin Byard somehow becomes available in the open market, for Howie to not even contact his agent and not even inquire about him is malpractice. That's not what the Eagles do. The Eagles take advantage of every situation. When the Eagles, and I've said this before, when the Eagles are aggressive, when they're aggressive, they're at their best. When they're going ahead, making moves, making things happen, that's when they have the most success. When they dial back a little bit or they sit on the roster, it always falls apart for the Eagles. That's just the way it is. So the Eagles need to stay aggressive. They need to stay hungry. Teams like the Dallas Cowboys, they're happy with what they did. They think they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. The Eagles, they know they're good, but they know they can get better. And if you have the opportunity to get better, you do it. Just think of this. The whole reason that the Eagles went out and worked out a contract with Jalen Hurts, got Jalen Hurts on board with him, to pay him the way they did, was so that they would have room for moments like this. So they would have room to make deals when opportunities presented themselves. And right now, with DeAndre Hopkins, you have a gigantic opportunity presenting itself right now. It's out there. It's here. Now, the Eagles, do they go out and get him? I don't know. Probably the odds are probably still against the Eagles, I guess, if you listen to the media, which I don't. But the Eagles, if they would get DeAndre Hopkins, and if he understands his role, and A.J. Brown understands, and Devontae Smith understands, and it's a one-year deal to get to the Super Bowl, and they're all on board, and they're all willing to be on board, you do it. You absolutely do it. And if it's not DeAndre Hopkins, and let's say you have a chance to get Budda Baker, you do it. This is what the Eagles have that Howie Roseman gives you, that other teams don't have. And if the Eagles were to sit on this roster like some people want them to do, then you're wasting the talent that is Howie Roseman. Don't waste Howie Roseman. Don't do it. Let him do his magic. Let him work what he does. Whether that's DeAndre Hopkins, Budda Baker, Kevin Byard, any of these guys. It is so great to be an Eagle fan. And every day you wake up knowing that Howie Roseman is is trying to do something. That they're always working on something. That if somebody becomes available, everybody goes, oh, well, the Eagles want every player. But the Eagles get them. Just look at last year. The Eagles got James Bradbury around this time last year. I think a few weeks before right now. But they got him. And you can't tell me that James Bradbury was not a significant reason why the Eagles were able to go to the Super Bowl. He was a very big part of that team. C.J. Gardner-Johnson in training camp, he was a big part of the deal. Back in 2017, LeGarrette Blount, he was a late signing. He was a big part of the deal for the Eagles to go and win a Super Bowl. You have to take advantage of the opportunities that present yourself. You can't sit on your team and just expect everything to go good. When the Eagles do that, they don't do well. The Eagles do well by staying 3-4 steps ahead of everybody else and using Howie Roseman to the best of his ability. This is Howie Roseman prime season right now. This is where you want the guy working. Yes, we have a great roster, but we shouldn't feel like we're done yet. We're not done yet. We've got more work to do. We can make this roster better, and that's what I think the Eagles do. And I think if they sit on their roster right now, like some people have talked about, I think you're wasting Howie Roseman. That's just my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. So when are we going to get Kelly Green stuff? That's what I want to know. When is the Kelly Green coming out? I'm guessing they're going to announce it like right as the start of training camp. Somewhere around then is when they're going to announce it, and then they're going to start taking pre-orders and all that kind of stuff. I wish they would do that right now, man. I am dying to get myself a Kelly Green Devontae Smith jersey, like pronto. You know what I'm saying? And if they somehow do sign DeAndre Hopkins, I might have to get one of his too. Denzel Washington out.